want to talk to you about what is venture capital, private equity. There are companies with and without venture capital or private equity. So how do you decide who to go to? Should you go to an angel? Or do you go to a private equity person? What kind of compromises should you be ready for? Are you really ready for taking external capital? What are the different sources of capital? And what kinds of businesses can get funded? So this kind of set of issues we want to discuss and debate. So without much ado, I'll get started with a little bit of an introduction of who I represent. I represent a firm called Sequoia Capital. I've been in India for about 10 plus years and over 75 investments. Globally, we've been around for about close to 4 decades and have largely invested globally in tech businesses. In India, we invest both in tech and non-tech businesses. Some of our companies have gone on to become market leaders in the US. 15% of NASDAQ market cap comes from companies that we have funded very, very early on. Examples on that slide: Google, Yahoo, Cisco, Oracle, Apple, etc. And more recently, LinkedIn and YouTube. So we continue to kind of find market leaders, and that's kind of really what we are keen to do. Most of these companies are familiar to you, and these are all multi-billion-dollar companies. Take Apple or Oracle or Yahoo or Cisco, and most of these companies have taken venture capital money or private equity money at various points, right? The point being made is lots of guys have taken external help to get there. The more important point is that there are lots of companies who have gone there without having to take external capital, right? And it's important to know and understand whether you really need this capital or not, and at what stage, what is the right kind of investor, and who do you need to go to. I would request people to pick these points and talk. It's very, very important to know where to get your money from, and that will help you save a lot of time, and will not demotivate you if you go to the wrong guy and he says no. So that's important. So coming back to what we will discuss today, and this is where I'll stop. Who should you really raise? Who should you go to raise capital from, right? And what is the right timing? Why should you partner with a VC or a PE? What do they bring to the table? How do you reach out to the right investor? And and we can give you some tips, and we'll talk about who you need to go to get to us finally. And what does an investor look for, right? And that's important because, again, you need to position yourself right. This delves into the topic of how do you pitch, so we'll talk about that a little bit. And finally, are you really ready for a VCP? It's not for everyone, like I pointed out. There are some significant compromises you need to make. You need to adapt yourselves. You need to have the ability to work with them. So we'll talk a little bit about are you really ready, and hopefully post this session, you'll go back with learnings of really, do you want to do this? If so, what's the kind of investor you need to talk to and when, so that you optimize the chances of getting funded and hopefully increase the chances of success.